I was just hanging up the laundry. One second I was there, and the next, I saw my own body, lying in the mud. I wasn't afraid. It felt like waking up. There were angels waiting for me. They showed me what's coming, and they sent me back to warn you.
The lightning hit Jessica Turner without warning. One moment she was standing in her backyard during a summer storm, hanging the last of her wet clothes on the line. The next moment, a blinding flash of light tore through the darkened sky, striking her directly. Her body crumpled onto the wet grass as thunder boomed overhead. The rain kept falling, but Jessica couldn't feel it anymore. Her heart had stopped beating. Jessica was 35, a kindergarten teacher who lived in a small house at the edge of town. She loved her students, her little garden, and the quiet life she had built after moving away from the city 5 years ago. The kids at school called her Miss Jessie, and she kept a jar of hard candies in her desk drawer for them. Just that morning, she had fed her cat, Milo, and called her mum about coming to visit next weekend. Nothing special, nothing that felt like her last day alive. As her body lay still in the yard, Jessica felt strange. She was floating upward, away from herself. She looked down and saw her own body sprawled on the ground, her blonde hair spread out in the mud. Her neighbor Tom was running across the lawn, yelling into his phone, his face filled with panic. "That's me down there," she thought, but she wasn't scared. It felt like waking up from a long nap. Everything was clearer now. Jessica drifted higher, above her little blue house with the wind chimes on the porch. She could see the whole neighborhood, the storm clouds, and a soft white light growing brighter above her. The light pulled her in. It wasn't like going through a tunnel, it was more like the light came to get her, warm and bright, but not hurting her eyes. She remembered how her dad used to wrap her in a big towel after swimming when she was little. The light felt like that, safe and warm. When the brightness cleared, Jessica found herself standing in a place that seemed made of light itself. The colors here were richer, deeper, and somehow more real than any she'd seen before. The air felt alive with soft music that had no clear source. Ahead of her stood two figures. They glowed with gentle blue-white light, their faces kind and somehow familiar, though Jessica knew she had never seen them before. They weren't exactly like the angels in pictures, no wings or harps, but she knew that's what they were. "Jessica," one of them said, though their lips didn't move. The voice seemed to come from everywhere. "Don't be afraid." "Am I dead?" she asked, surprised that she felt so calm asking this. "You are between," the second angel said. Their voice sounded like quiet water flowing over stones. "There is something you must see before you go back." "Go back?" Jessica felt a pang of disappointment. This place felt so right, so much like home. The angels moved toward her, and the space around them changed. Suddenly, they were standing on what looked like a high mountain, overlooking the whole earth. It was beautiful. Blue oceans, green lands, white clouds swirling across the surface. "The world is approaching a time of great change," the first angel said. "You must return with a message about the signs that will come before the end." Jessica felt a chill despite the warmth around her. "The end of what?" "The end of this age," the angel replied. "Watch now." The first angel waved a hand, and the view of Earth changed. Jessica saw oceans rising, washing over coastal cities. People running, trying to save what they could as water claimed their homes. "The first sign is already beginning," the angel said. "The waters will rise not slowly as expected, but suddenly. What was thought to take decades will happen in months." Jessica remembered the news stories about melting ice caps, but what she was seeing was much worse. "Can't we stop it?" "It is already set in motion," the second angel said, "but those who heed the warning can move to higher ground. Many lives can be saved if they listen." The scene shifted again. Now Jessica saw the ground splitting open, mountains trembling. Huge cracks appeared across entire states. Buildings fell. "The second sign will be the awakening of the earth itself," the first angel explained. "New fault lines will appear where none existed before. The ground will not be steady under your feet." Jessica thought about the small earthquakes that had been happening in places that never had them before, places like her hometown, which had felt 3 small quakes just this year. "When will this happen?" she asked. "It has already begun," the second angel said, "but the great shaking is still to come." The final vision was the most frightening. Jessica saw the sky turn strange colors, deep red, then an eerie purple. The sun seemed dimmer, as if something was coming between Earth and its light. "The third sign will be written in the heavens," the first angel said. "The light of the sun will be diminished for 3 days. Many will fear the world is ending." "Is it?" Jessica asked, her voice small. "No," the second angel said gently. "It is a warning and a chance to turn back to love. The darkness will pass if enough hearts turn toward light." Jessica felt tears on her cheeks. "Why, show me. I'm nobody special." The first angel touched her shoulder. "Every voice matters. Every heart that turns toward love helps turn the tide." "You must tell them that these signs are not punishment," the second angel added. "They are the earth and the heavens calling humanity back to balance, back to each other, back to kindness." Jessica looked down at the planet, thinking of all the people she knew, her students, her family, strangers on the street. "Will they listen to me?" "Some will," the first angel said, "and those who do will help others prepare, not with fear, but with hope." Jessica felt a sudden longing to stay in this place of light. She thought about her little house, her classroom, the everyday problems that had seemed so big before. None of it mattered compared to what she'd just seen. "I don't want to go back," she whispered. The angels came closer, surrounding her with light. "Your time is not finished," they said together. "You are needed there." Jessica felt their love washing over her like waves. It hurt to think of leaving this perfect peace. "When you return, look for signs of light among people," the first angel said. "They are there, waiting to be awakened. Remember what you've seen, but do not live in fear. Live in hope." Jessica tried to memorize their faces, the sound of their voices, the feeling of complete love that surrounded her. Then the light began to fade, and she felt herself being pulled back, away from the angels and the beautiful place. The journey back felt fast and jarring. One moment she was standing with the angels, and the next she was slammed back into her body with a painful jolt. Pain. That was the first thing Jessica felt. Every muscle hurt, like she'd been beaten. Her chest burned from the inside out. Her lungs screamed for air, and then she was gasping, coughing, her eyes flying open to see paramedics leaning over her. "She's back!" someone shouted. "We've got a pulse!" The rain had stopped. Jessica looked up at the clearing sky, trying to hold on to what she had seen, but the memory was already fading around the edges, like a dream after waking. "Miss Turner, can you hear me?" A paramedic was shining a light in her eyes. "Yes," she managed to say, her voice raspy. "I was somewhere else." The next few days passed in a blur of hospital rooms, tests, and concerned visitors. The doctors called her survival a miracle. The lightning had stopped her heart for over 5 minutes, they said. By all medical understanding, she should have died or at least suffered brain damage. Jessica told her story to anyone who would listen. First the nurses, then her family when they rushed to her side. Most nodded politely, saying near-death experiences were common with trauma. "The brain creates comforting hallucinations," they explained. "It's just how we cope." But Jessica knew what she had seen was real. More real than the hospital room, more real than anything she'd known before. When she returned home 2 weeks later, things started happening that she couldn't explain. The first morning back, she woke to find her dead houseplants had sprung back to life, green and vibrant. She touched their leaves with trembling fingers, remembering the angel's words about signs of life. At school, Jessica began talking to her young students about caring for the earth, about being kind to each other. She didn't mention angels or visions, just simple messages about love and helping others. One day, a little boy named Max stayed after class. "Miss Jessie, my mom says there was something on the news about the ocean rising really fast somewhere far away. Is that bad?" Jessica felt her heart skip. The first sign. "Some changes are coming, Max, but we don't need to be scared if we help each other." That night, she sat down and started writing everything she could remember about her experience. The 3 signs, the angel's message, the feeling of love that had surrounded her. As she wrote, the memories became clearer, as if the act of putting them on paper made them solid again. When small earthquakes began happening more frequently across the country, Jessica recognized the second sign beginning. Instead of panicking, she started a community preparation group. Not out of fear, she told them, but out of care for each other. Some people thought she was crazy, others listened. Her sister called her one night crying. "I believe you now," she said. "I had a dream about angels last night. They showed me the same things you described." Jessica wasn't alone anymore. Others were getting the message too. Months passed. The news was filled with reports of coastal flooding happening faster than scientists had predicted. New earthquake zones appeared on maps. And then came the first reports of strange atmospheric events, unusual colors in the sky, unexpected dimming of sunlight in some areas. Jessica looked up at the sky one evening, watching the sunset turn an unnatural shade of red. She thought about the place of light she had visited, the angels who had sent her back with a purpose. "I remember," she whispered to the darkening sky, "and I'm not afraid." What Jessica had learned wasn't just about warnings or disasters, it was about how connected everything is: the earth, the sky, all people. The changes coming weren't the end of everything, but maybe the beginning of something new. Something better if enough people remembered how to love each other through the hard times ahead. The world would face difficult days. But sitting on her porch steps, watching the strange sunset, Jessica felt something she hadn't expected to feel after seeing what was coming. Hope,